Welcome. Thank you for joining me on my official kickoff to launching my second podcast, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond. This will be premium content, meaning I will release weekly clips from the full short story that I have written of that particular week, which sometimes for that week will release the full scene of that short story. I mix it up. That would keep you interested and intrigued to wanting to join as a premium patron listener, that you would get access to the full stories plus more stories that I will roll out, not necessarily 100% every week all the time, right? So the patrons also get rewards based on their paid level. So go ahead and check that out on my homepage at Patreon, which is patreon.com/Nichel Anderson. I will also have a link to that page with more information of becoming a patron for this premium content to support this particular project that I'm venturing in. So in this podcast, I plan to have special guests as well from my followers on social media and members from my circle of entertainment of creating such art form and beyond. So for example, I might have a contest or maybe just randomly contact some of my followers and see if they would like to be a special guest where they will actually read a character line that I have written to kind of mix it up a bit, right? Keep it interesting. So on that note, this podcast will publish modern day stories as well outside of the main one that I started the pre-launch for this show, which is basically my heart of hearts, my cream of la cream, MOLIAE, which stands for Moments of Love in Ancient Egypt, where I continue with the story, but with a different angle. This is before the time of Princess Amina that most of my followers are aware of, and that I have produced several productions based from my book Mitsrayim, where that's where she came through, and then all of these other characters. So we're looking at it before her time and looking at some of the characters that I have announced and talked about, but to get you that background information to be more connected to the story. It is a very grand story before we get to the time of Princess Amina. So therefore, when I do return back to stage entitled The Prestige Return of MOLIAE stage play, where I will bring most of these characters to life on stage, you will already have a connection with them to understand their background and to be more engaged as well once we hit and return back to stage. So for today's special event of my new second podcast, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond, you will get the full story with a bonus this week. So next week starts the shorter clips of my short stories to hopefully encourage you, as I mentioned, to consider to become a patron that you can cancel anytime. And the first level starts at $3 USD dollars and up from there. So it's a good thing, especially with rewards. You get that too. And I will provide the link to that page at the end in the description area. All right, so in this week, to kick off my new podcast, we will continue with short stories featuring MOLIAE, a theatrical production from my book Mitsrayim, a memoir that highlights ancient Egypt, Kemet. At this timeline, it is before the time of Princess Amina, as I mentioned earlier, when Mitsrayim was still at the height of its power, influence, and knowledge of those from the Sumerian region. In the last week episode, Nontu of the High Council of Orion arrives to his superiors in a secret location in the lower part of the Sudan. We learned of some of the High Council members that anticipated the results from Nontu to be a successful one from Nantu's visit to Mitsrayim. However, it did not go as they planned. While later it was Queen Hagar and Ezra discussing the latest updates on King Milan, with both very pleased of his progress. Queen Hagar gets a highly sensitive message from an appointed military officer as a secret spy of the royal family. She then commands him to take action in a very particular way to secure the position of Mitsrayim in the region. That was episode 3. Let's get started in episode 4, titled Enemies Abound If Left Unattended. Kicking off today, my podcast, yay! Season 1, 2017 to 2018. Nichel Anderson, Short Stories and Beyond. Let's begin. Opening scene. Enemies abound if left unattended. As Apsu enters in early dawn on the banks of Nontu, there are 400 Mitsrayim guards in position for the next move forward, while the highest leader awaits for the signal. Halak used the ancient calling through reflection of light to quickly communicate to secret camps of Mitsrayim military forces to congregate at the destination location. Unknowing to Comrade Jetur, far inward of the enemy camp after a long journey, Comrade Jetur, still determined to meet the person that sent him a message wrapped in a brown cloth in the previous episode 2. Comrade Jetur enters the area leading to the highest tent on the slanted mountain, unknowing to the armed guards below. There are 2 Mitsrayim guards with Comrade Jetur with their weapons ready. They know they are in enemy territory. Suddenly, one of the guards, Kalon, that was with Comrade Jetur of the 2 guards, saw the ancient messaging to communicate afar the reflection of light. He reaches over to touch Comrade Jetur before they reach the highest tent. As rows of flickering light during the dawn of early moments to come, the reflection of light that Kalon pointed to Comrade Jetur to see sparkled like jewels in the skies in unison of the tri-code translation. We come by the order of the Queen Mitsrayim to be on your side. We will move at your command, Comrade Jetur. What seemed like many moments but seconds, Comrade Jetur was speechless, for he felt for the first time in his young life that the gods were indeed on his side and in his purpose to defend Mitsrayim with all means. He confidently, even before taking this journey to reach the area of the enemy of Mitsrayim, he enters the enemy camp for the leader in Nontu. Kalon and another guard enters protectively behind Comrade Jetur. Meanwhile, in Mitsrayim, Princess Hannah is very excited to see her mother at the start of an early dawn. She wants to her mother that she was knelt down to hug her beloved daughter. They embraced. There were 12 royal high female attendants of the queen standing at far and at right, along with 10 royal Mitsrayim guards a few feet away. As the start of the usual walk to the royal Nile chambers, even Princess Hannah felt her mother was at peace. More of this as Boudet. Upon entering the Nile chambers and then being assisted by the royal female attendants to complete the official royal dressing garment of Apsu blue draped down to their feet for the engulfing of self into the running Nile water channels. The aroma of soft incense filled the chambers. Royal attendants attended to the gathering of herbs, oils, and aromatic flowers. In the running water, while Princess Hannah and Queen Hagar positioned their slightly underwater sitting in the incoming Nile water, Princess Hannah speak first. I am pleased of this day, as you are, Mother. Yes, I feel it will be good as per day, Hannah. Did you sleep well under the Kingo rays during the last shadow hour? I did, smiling up at her mother. Queen Hagar beamed at her daughter while running her fingers through Princess Hannah's dark Nubian and kingly twisted hair in strands down to her shoulders. I am pleased of that. Princess Hannah moved up and down as an excited one to please her mother by then laying her head on her mother's arm. We do need to talk, Hannah, about the matter with the Orion. Hannah looked up, beaming at her mother with awe. I learned many things, Mother, as you directed. I felt you as strong as ever before that day. I shall be so once I am a queen. And you will, she rubbed her daughter's chin. Princess Hannah smiled, but then noticed her mother was about to say something that concerned her. So Princess Hannah sat up straight, still watching her mother. Queen Hagar motions the royal attendants to stand outside the chambers with the guards. Then she spoke to her daughter while reaching for Princess Hannah's hand. It is about your father. Princess Hannah's whole being tensed up, and slowly her eyes started to fill up with watery streams of concern and worry. I was told something happened, but not to worry. What is it, Mother? Trust in me. Yes. Nodding. Yes, I always do, Mother. It was best to keep your father's wellness state a secret because of discovered traitors of enemies amongst Mitsrayim. I see. Queen Hagar looked to her daughter and telepathically spoke to Princess Hannah. He is alive. Your father, King Milan, survived the wounds against him. He is returning back to us. Princess Hannah's eyes burst as stars in the Kingo skies as she gasped for air of excitement out of worry no more. She quickly hugged her mother and spoke telepathically to her. All thanks to King Yu for this moment. When can I see him, Mother? I love him so. I miss him so. Queen Hagar spoke telepathically. Soon, soon, for the moment will be in this day. Later, in the west bank of the Sudan, deep in the cave of the secret location of the Orions, steps that led outward on the highest layer bark ridge. Unknowing to the other Orion's council members, Ecko appears out of the darkness into the increasing dawn Apsu rays, about to stretch farther and farther, overtaking the once dark shadowy night. We can see the long scar on his left rugged cheek from previous warrior battles. His dark flowing cape that covered his long warrior garment moved as the moving river down below, but it made no sounds as he walked further out of the cave. Ecko is followed by 10 guards of the Orion First Order. Ecko reached in his side pouch and pulled out a metal object with mixture of colors in the middle and held it up to the skies. Moments later, as if a beam of light left the metal object to connect to the high skies above. Soon, Ecko started to nod, as if telepathically he was speaking to someone. His high-ranked guard stood protectively behind him and constantly looked around. Ecko broke the connection and returned back the metal object into his side pouch. He immediately turned around as his cape flapped in the wind, and as Apsu, dawn rays, flowing like a feather, transitioned over the shadowy night into the brand new day. Ecko speaks in his Orion language. Ekanu eken pese no te nafa hehan solo teni. Translation: Our elders will make it known to King Milan. It's only the beginning. End scene.